The Las Vegas Raiders may have completed one of their most calculated off-seasons in recent memory, but what's happening behind the scenes could take the team to a whole new level, especially in the secondary. A potential blockbuster trade is gaining momentum, and if it happens, Raider Nation could soon be getting a Super Bowl champion to help anchor the defense. The name on the radar? Jamal Dean. Yes, that Jamal Dean, the 6-year veteran of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers who played a crucial role in their Super Bowl 55 victory. Dean is now the subject of growing trade rumors, and the Raiders have emerged as a logical suitor. Why? The connection is real. Las Vegas general manager John Spytek was in charge of Tampa Bay's player base when Dean was drafted in 2019. Now, with glaring questions about the cornerback and ties to Dean's background, the dots are starting to connect. After losing Jack Jones and Nate Hobbs, the Raiders are looking for reliability and experience at cornerback. Jacorian Bennett has shown promise, but his injury history and potential scheme mismatch under new coach Pete Carroll raise concerns. The team brought in former Packers center Eric Stokes and rookie Darian Porter, but the unit still lacks a true defensive presence. That's where Dean fits in. Dean's $15 million cap hit for 2025 is high, but manageable. The Bucs could wipe nearly all of that off the books with a trade, and the Raiders have more than $30 million in cap space to play with. It's a financial issue. CBS Sports' Cody Benjamin even drew parallels between the situation and last year's trade that sent L'Jarius Sneed from Kansas City to Tennessee. The Chiefs received a 3rd round and 7th round pick in return. If that structure holds, Vegas could sweeten the deal by adding Bennett to give Tampa a young, cost-effective option at cornerback. Still, there's hesitation on the Bucs' part. Trading Dean would put immediate pressure on 2 rookie cornerbacks, Benjamin Morrison and Jacob Parrish, and to step up in a promising playoff season. It's a tough call, but it's one Tampa may have to make if it's serious about salary cap flexibility in the future. For Vegas, the upside is obvious. Dean brings playoff experience, man-to-man coverage skills, and physicality to a unit in desperate need of consistency. If Spytek decides to sign, it won't just be a reunion. It'll be a statement. The Raiders are no longer content with piecemeal solutions. They're targeting established winners. So far, no deal has been confirmed, but the interest is real. The fit is natural, and the stakes are high. Watch out, Raider Nation. This could be the defining move of the summer. And if this trade goes through, it would fit perfectly into a defense that's already showing signs of significant growth under Pete Carroll. While all eyes are on the offense and the quarterback transition, something even more powerful has been quietly brewing on the other side of the floor. The Las Vegas Raiders defense is transforming, and quickly. And much of that credit goes to the stability brought by defensive coordinator Patrick Graham and the leadership of new head coach Pete Carroll. Rather than tear down what was already in place, Carroll made a bold and rare decision. He kept Graham, acknowledging the foundation already in place. Despite a rash of injuries in 2024, Graham's unit held together. Max Crosby, the heart of the defense, was hurt. Malcolm Kuntz missed the entire season with a knee injury just as he was starting to find his rhythm. And Christian Wilkins, brought in to solidify the team from within, also sat out. Add in the departure of safety Marcus Epps in free agency, and you'd expect the defense to collapse. But it didn't. Now what? Everyone's coming back. Crosby's return alone is enough to change the dynamic. He's one of the most relentless edge rushers in football, and his leadership sets the tone on every down. Add in a healthy Kuntz and a motivated Wilkins, and the defensive line suddenly looks like a nightmare for opposing offenses. But it doesn't stop there. General manager John Spytek has made smart, low-key additions that could pay off in a big way. Jermaine Pratt, a linebacker who spent the past few seasons as a key part of the Bengals' playoff-caliber defense, brings veteran instincts and toughness. Alongside him, Elandon Roberts, a middle-scoring power forward who fits perfectly into Graham's aggressive scheme. The duo replaces the linebackers who left last season with upgrades in experience and playmaking ability. And let's not forget the calculated risks Spytek took. Signing Eric Stokes Jr. might raise eyebrows, given his injury history, but when healthy, he's shown flashes of being a legitimate starter. If Stokes can stay on the field and rookie Darian Porter can develop quickly, this secondary could look radically different by mid-season. But there's one important variable that could make or break all of this: health. The defense's ceiling isn't just about schemes or additions. It's about whether this core of defense can stay on the field. If they can, the Raiders won't just be better. They could be a top 10 prospect. Pete Carroll's impact is already there. Practices are sharper. Defensive meetings are more intense. Accountability is sky high. And for the first time in years, players are openly talking about becoming a dominant unit. This new version of the Raiders defense isn't just about potential. It's about proving proving that they belong among the NFL's elite. And if the potential signing of Jamal Dean happens, watch out. But even with a strong defense taking shape, there's one hard truth the Raiders must face next season. They're still playing in the most brutal division in football. Even with a revamped defense, a new coaching staff, and a front office in full swing, the reality for the Las Vegas Raiders remains crystal clear. The AFC West is unforgiving. It's the most competitive and brutal division in football, and the Raiders know better than anyone that improvement on paper doesn't guarantee success on the field. Let's be real. The Raiders didn't win a single division game last year. Zero. The Chiefs have dominated the AFC West for nearly a decade, winning 9 straight division titles behind Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, and they're not slowing down. The Chargers? They've added key pieces and now have Jim Harbaugh, one of the most respected minds in football, at the helm. And the Broncos? Quietly building, with an improved coaching staff and no longer a failure. It's a Shark Tank. So what are the Raiders bringing to the table in 2025? A lot, actually. New head coach Pete Carroll brings playoff experience and transformative leadership. Offensive coordinator Chip Kelly adds creativity and rhythm to a unit in dire need of direction. But perhaps the biggest change of all has been the addition of quarterback Geno Smith, a proven veteran looking for redemption and a system that plays to his strengths. Smith, however, inherits a tough situation. He leaves a shaky offensive line in Seattle, only to join one that could be even shakier in Las Vegas. Despite the addition of former Bengals guard Alex Kappa and a couple of late-round prospects, protection is still a red flag. And with 2 young tight ends, Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer, expected to contribute significantly, there's little room for error. That said, the upside is undeniable. Running back Ashton Jeanty brings explosiveness and versatility. Bowers and Mayer make for a matchup of nightmares. If the offensive line can gel quickly and Chip Kelly overcomes his early struggles, this offense could be surprisingly explosive. And that's it. This version of the Raiders may be unpredictable, but it won't be boring. They're younger, hungrier, and finally have a clear identity in the making. According to The Athletic's Jacob Robinson, the Raiders may have improved more than any other team in the division. But here's a sobering conclusion. For all the gains, this still looks like a 6-win team on paper. So what needs to change? The answer is simple, but not easy. Execution. If the defense delivers and Geno Smith plays clean, confident football, the Raiders can compete with the best in penalty killing. But mental errors, lapses in protection, and a slow start in the division could derail the season before the summer. The schedule won't wait. Neither will the pressure. And that's why every move from here on out, whether it's trading for Jamal Dean, taking a chance on rookies, or tweaking the offensive line, needs to be spot on. There's no room for error in a division this stacked. Every Sunday will be a war, and the Raiders need to bring more than just enthusiasm to survive. Raiders fan, with the trade for Jamal Dean about to happen, with a renewed defense and a new coaching management, do you think the team finally has what it needs to face the Chiefs, dominate the AFC West, and return to the playoffs? Or is there still a weak point that could ruin everything? Leave your opinion here, leave a like, and I will come back later to update you with the latest news from the Raiders.